The Republic of Maldives, 1,200 islands. Population 186,000. Highest point above sea level, 2.4 meters. A strong wave could redraw the map. Its capital, Malé, is 2 square kilometers. You can walk across it in 11 minutes. Its army had fewer than 1,000 men, who doubled as the police force. No navy, no air force, no allies with the defense treaty. At 4:15 in the morning on November 3rd, 1988, 80 armed mercenaries from Sri Lanka landed on the presidential jetty. Tamil militants hired by a Maldivian businessman for the price of an island. A K-47s, rocket launchers, mortars. 80 more had already infiltrated Malé, posing as tourists. 160 fighters against a country with no army. At 4:20, a squad reached the main gate of the military headquarters. Standing at the security post was a 19-year-old private named Hussein Adam. He had fired a weapon exactly twice in his career, 7 rounds total. He loaded his AK-47 and fired back, alone. For 10 minutes, he held the gate. A bullet hit his arm. He kept firing. He radioed that he was on his last magazine, asked for more, was told there was no way to reach him. A bullet struck his magazine, then more bullets found him. He was 19, 7 rounds of practice in his entire life. He held the gate long enough for the headquarters to mount the defense that lasted the night. While Hussein Adam fought, mercenaries breached the presidential palace. But President Gayoom had slipped out through the western gate moments before, running through the streets with his wife and son, house to house, until he reached a stranger's home. He opened his phone directory and started calling. Sri Lanka, can't help. Pakistan, same. The United Kingdom, outside our sphere. Try India. The United States, with a military base 1,000 kilometers away at Diego Garcia, said it would take 2 to 3 days. The Soviet Union, no response. India said yes. Let that sit for a moment. The world's most powerful military was 1,000 kilometers away and said no. India was 2,600 kilometers away and said yes. Rajiv Gandhi convened a crisis meeting by 9 a.m., all 3 service chiefs. By noon, military intervention was approved. By 3:30, orders went to Agra. But here is what nobody talks about. Agra was a peace station. No battalion was assembled. 7 para was out training. 3 para was scattered across Lucknow. 6 para had men on security duty. They had no satellite imagery of the Maldives, no intelligence briefing, no military maps of any kind. They had tourist brochures. 1,600 paratroopers scraped together from 3 battalions, led by Brigadier Bulsara, whose vice chief called and asked, "Bull, are you as thick as ever? If you want it to be done, this is the way." 2 IL-76 transports, 6 Mirage, 2,000 escorts. At 6:03 p.m., they lifted off from Agra. Destination, a runway they had never seen. On an island most of them couldn't find on a map, on a moonless night over the Indian Ocean. The original plan was a para-drop onto the airport island of Huhulay, 1 kilometer across the water from Malai. Mid-flight, Bulsara killed the plan. The drop zone was 200 meters by 50, a parking lot, moonless, crosswinds. 25% of his men would land in the ocean, full gear, no rescue boats. "Gentlemen," he said, "we will land." Group Captain Bewar descended toward a runway he could not see. 6,000 feet of concrete surrounded by ocean. No approach lights, no radar. At 200 meters, the runway lights switched on. He landed. The lights switched off. The aircraft rolled forward in total darkness, reverse on all 4 engines, stopped in 3 concrete slabs to spare. Beware keyed the radio. "This is a friendly one," the controller replied. "Hadia, Hadia, Hadia," the code word. But was the man free or was there a gun to his head? It didn't matter. 1,600 paratroopers were already pouring out. 9 hours from a phone call in a stranger's house to boots on the ground. 2,600 kilometers with tourist brochures from maps. The mercenaries had seized the radio station, the television station, the government buildings. They had not thought to secure the airport. That was their second mistake. C Company, 6 para, found 5 fishing boats at the jetty. Each held 5 to 15 men. Think about what was about to happen. Professional paratroopers, one of the most elite units in the Indian Army, crossing a kilometer of open water in civilian fishing boats at night to assault an island held by 160 men with automatic weapons. No landing craft, no helicopter support, fishing boats. As they prepared to launch, a lone figure appeared from the darkness, riding a bicycle. The paratroopers tackled him. He was their guide, sent to lead them to the president. The crossing took minutes. On the far shore, a firefight ripped through the narrow streets. Professional Indian paratroopers paratroopers against Tamil mercenaries who had expected to fight a country with no army, not the 50th Parachute Brigade. At 2 a.m., paratroopers reached Gayam's safe house. His guards wouldn't open the door until they saw the turbines. Sikh soldiers. That confirmed it. Malay was secured by morning, but the operation was not over. 60 mercenaries escaped on a hijacked cargo vessel, the MV Progress Light, with 27 hostages, including a government minister and his wife. Indian Navy patrol aircraft tracked the ship. INS Godavari, India's first indigenous frigate, and INS Betwa intercepted. For 24 hours, they shadowed the freighter. Every negotiation rejected. On the morning of November 6th, the Navy issued a final warning. Surrender by 0600, extended the deadline by 15 minutes. The mercenaries' response, we will stand firm on our course. Then they forced the 27 hostages to stand on the ship's bridge, visible, exposed, while the fighters crouched behind sandbags, human shields, 60 warning shots. Depth charges dropped around the hull from Sea King helicopters, shock waves hammering the ship. It did not stop. The broadside was ordered on the forward cargo section, away from the hostages. The 4-inch 57mm and 30mm guns of both frigates raked the vessel. The forward section exploded. Marcos, India's marine commander, boarded the burning ship. No resistance. All hostages rescued. Mercenaries captured. On November 7th, the MV Progress Light sank, 56 miles southwest of Colombo. India withdrew all 1,600 troops in 10 days. Indian combat casualties, 0. One soldier accidentally shot himself in the foot. That was it. Reagan called it an immense contribution to regional security. Thatcher said, "Thank God for India." Time magazine put INS Godavari on its cover. Super India, the next military power. What India gave: 3 service branches, 1,600 paratroopers, a naval task force, a burning ship stormed under fire, a government restored. What India asked for? Nothing. No base, no port, no lease, no treaty. India pressed for one thing: mercy. The captured mercenaries' death sentences were commuted to life. Then India went home. This is not a rescue story. This is a story about what happens after the rescue. In 2018, China completed a bridge between Hulhulé and Mail, 1.4 kilometers, $210 million, funded by Beijing. The bridge connects the exact 2 islands that Indian paratroopers crossed by fishing boat on the night they saved the country. China paved over the route of India's rescue mission. President Yamin, Gayoom's own half-brother, pivoted to Beijing. $1.4 billion in Chinese loans. Islands leased for 50 years. A military pact with China signed. And then the campaign? India out. 59,000 tweets. 2,200 accounts. Half of them fake. A manufactured movement to expel the country that saved them. In 2023, Mohammad Mawizu won the presidency on this platform. His words: there will be no Indian troops in the country, not in uniform and not in civilian clothing. The 88 Indian personnel he expelled. Helicopter crews running search and rescue missions. The country India saved in 9 hours asked India to leave in 174 days. Within months, debt at 127% of GDP. Foreign reserves under 1 month of imports. Credit rating, deep junk. China, which had loaned $1.4 billion, built the bridge, leased the islands, did nothing. India stepped in. Again, $565 million in credit, $400 million in currency swap, 40% cut in debt repayment. Here is the contrast nobody wants to say out loud. India saved the Maldives in 1988, asked for nothing, got India out. China lent Sri Lanka billions, got a 99-year lease on the port of Hambantota, 70% equity, 2 models. One gives and gets forgotten. The other lends and takes everything.